Picture or after?
Well, the Davenport,
No, just what it looked like yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Monday.
Fisher, I have no idea.
I saw some things that look good and some things that look really bad.
Well, that's what I was saying,
I think
is
it's
they've
kinda
done
cool.
some work.
Yeah,
it's
pretty cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not
I
done.
didn't realize it was that bad.
But yeah, some of them have been there
That's-
for a while.
I gotcha.
So that's pretty
Oh,
really
pretty
cool.
cool. Very nice.
Don't even start.
How
you been, bro?
Nice.
Just about always have a time in the place. So I'm gonna catch up. I'm doing it. Microphone's actually.
Is it cold in here?
Oh, did you? It's cold in the car. Yeah. You sold yours?
My office is like that. One whole half of the building is cold. The other half is hot. Just you go back and forth.
It's a big change.
Everybody's messing with the thermostat. The biggest mistake they made was that the conference room doesn't have a separate AC.
Yeah.
People go in there, it heats up. They turn the AC on, everyone else freezes.
Right.
And it takes a lot from.
And they're just cooking in there.
Yeah.
being able to-
They have their own separate air
Right.
balance.
Yeah. For you.
You gotta,
You know, I remember
you gotta be a
Holding up progress.
$1,500. It seems like a lot of money. But you know, that's all these calculations.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I see what happens when you don't spend the money.
Yes.
yeah.
The house,
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
Bigger building, gets bad
Yeah.
quick.
It is.
All right,
And
ready to go?
inefficient, but some
Yeah, yeah,
days.
for wasting money.
Give me a break. Oh, Lord have mercy.
When's that date?
Good evening. I'd like to call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Kildare Hills Board of Commissioners. Excited to see some happy faces in the audience, including our Vice Chairman of the County Commission, Wally Overman. Good to see you. If you would, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as is our custom, if you would, join me for a short moment of silence. Thank you so much. Folks, we have an agenda before you.
Mayor, I'd move we approve the agenda as presented.
Excellent
Second
idea.
that.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We have an agenda. First item on our agenda, of course, is public comment. For anybody not familiar, we do this twice every meeting, at the beginning and the end. You can speak on any topic you like. Keep it to 3 minutes, 5 minutes for a group. I don't think we have anyone signed up, but anyone's welcome to run right up there right now if you like. Going once.
No one signed up. You're correct.
Okay, thank you. Going twice. All right, we will close public comment for now, but you do have a second chance at the end of the meeting, so remember that. First up, introductions and presentations. The Wall That Heals Traveling exhibit.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for allowing us here today to introduce you to The Wall That Heals. As you will see, this is an exceptional presentation of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. that will be shown at the Soundside event site in November of this year. We wanted to introduce this to you today and wanted you to be familiar with it if you weren't already. Hopefully, upon seeing this presentation tonight, Kildare Hills will choose to support this event wholeheartedly. The Wall That Heals is being brought here through the efforts of the Dare County Veterans Advisory Council. And I'll show you this. There it is. And as it says here, the Dare County Board of Commissioners created the Veterans Advisory Council in respectful recognition of the service and sacrifice of all Dare County veterans as represented in all the branches of the United States military service. The Veterans Advisory Council helps Dare County veterans by serving as a liaison with the community in coordinating services and activities benefiting veterans and their families. We have two members of the advisory council here with us today, Mr. Rick Probst and Mr. Tony Imperiali. Thank you guys for the work you do. Really appreciate it. We're going to show you a short video that shows how the event works. And after the video, Ms. Patty O'Sullivan, who is our Veterans Services Officer, will talk about the event in a little more detail, and then we will answer any questions you may have. Again, thank you for your time and your interest.
There you go.
The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund many years ago created a replica of the wall that travels to communities around the country that we call the Wall That Heals. This mobile replica really is about taking the names home to communities large and small to allow people to have that same kind of healing experience, to come and show their respect, to remember those 58,000 whose names are on the wall, as well as the 2.7 million Vietnam veterans who served who returned home. It's a chance to look back and pay their respects to those who answered the call of service to their country, especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
To be able to take this around to communities that may not even know anything about the wall or the war, especially for the young kids to come out and see these things and get educated on it. People need to know what these 58,000 plus gave their lives for, whether they want to hear about it or not. They need to know.
The experience at the Wall That Heals is as you go from one end in toward the center, the wall actually rises up above you so that it's taller than you are, which is one of the key design aspects of the wall in Washington. As you go down one of the walkways, the wall actually rises above you. And I think that has a psychological impact where you actually understand that there is something important here. It is so large that it creates an emotion of power, and you understand you're supposed to stop. You're supposed to think about it. And in this case, you can read the names, you can see your reflection in the wall, and you have to remember why those names are inscribed. These are people who sacrificed their lives for our country.
I get this feeling in my stomach, the pride that you see. When we went into San Dimas, the kids were all along the streets with their American flags. That always chokes me up because I know what it is to serve this country. And we as Americans sometimes don't understand the cost of war. Hate the war all you want, but don't hate the war either. I met a couple of guys here this morning, and one guy, I walked up to him and he started crying already. Man, it makes me feel good. Not that he's crying, but that he's here to have bonding with someone and being able to find his buddy on the wall. It means so much.
We could go to the next slide if yeah, there you go. I don't know what that is. That's not supposed to be part of it. Must be playing off of ours, maybe? I don't know.
It's playing with YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is still in the background.
it is.
Oh, it must be the next video off the website. There we go. Okay. Good evening. I'm Patty O'Sullivan, Dare County's Veteran Service Officer. I'm here on behalf of the Dare County Veterans Advisory Council to let you know that out of over 100 applications, Dare County was one of 32 counties to be selected to host the Wall That Heals in November 2023. The tour extends from California and goes across the country and ends in Dare County. We feel it's important to bring the Wall That Heals to Dare County since our county, as well as the surrounding counties, are home to several thousand veterans, including those that served in Vietnam. Many of these veterans are disabled due to their exposure to Agent Orange, and may never be able to travel to Washington, D.C. to see the actual wall. Just like the Vietnam Veteran Memorial in Washington, D.C., there are more than 58,000 names on the Wall That Heals. The tractor trailer that carries the Wall That Heals and once it's unloaded turns into their education center. It features a timeline and artifacts from the Vietnam War. One of the features it offers is the Wall of Heroes, which are local veterans who died during the war, as well as in the In Memory section, which highlights local veterans who served in Vietnam and passed away after they returned. No matter what the cause, the wall is inclusive to honor all Vietnam veterans. There's also an information education tent that will allow visitors to be able to find names of family members or friends who they may have lost and shows them how to create a rubbing of the name of the relative or friend. The dates of the wall are there. It arrives. It comes in on the 14th of November via an escort. Then it is erected on the 15th, and the official opening is the 16th of November, and then it goes until Sunday, the 19th. And once it's set up, it's open 24 hours a day. We will need several volunteers to help set up and take down the wall, as well as staff the wall while it is here. If anyone is interested, please feel free to email me, and I will forward the sign-up links to anyone. I have business cards I can leave if you'd like. The VVM will also offer tours to groups interested in taking part in a tour, such as schools, community groups, companies, etc. We're doing these presentations in hopes to get support from the local towns to make this event happen. Most of the veterans I help are Vietnam veterans here in Dare County, and they remember what it was like when they came home. I remember what it was like when my brother came home from Vietnam. We're hoping to honor these veterans and give them the respect they deserve. Thank you. Wally would also like to finish up our presentation here.
As Patty pointed out, we'll be presenting this same presentation to all of the towns and to the Dare County Board of Commissioners relatively soon. We have received several donations from private individuals to bring the Wall That Heals to Dare County, and the Dare County Board of Commissioners voted to contribute as well, which we're very thankful for. In addition, we presented this to the Nags Head Commissioners recently, and they have voted to help us with event site permitting and preparation, and we're quite thankful for that as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your offer to help with the drone video coverage of the arrival of the Wall That Heals. We hope to be able to use this as part of an extensive video of this event, including the opening ceremony, which we are planning right now. Also, a special thank you to Commissioner Terry Gray for his invaluable guidance in arranging the motorcycle and Jeep escort of the Wall That Heals from Plymouth to the Nags Head event site. Terry has worked with the mayors and police chiefs of Plymouth, Manteo, and Nags Head to make the arrival of the Wall That Heals very special. At this point, I believe we will have well over 100 motorcycles and up to 50 Jeeps for the escort. as Patty pointed out, the wall that heals is starting out in California this year and making its way all the way across the country. And I think it's 30 some stops before it gets to us. But we are the last stop of the year, and we really want to make it, send it out with a bang. We're really trying to get all the ceremonies and everything together, put together for that so that it'll be good. With regard to donations, it is important to note that all donations will help to not only bring the wall that heals to Dare County, but will also support Dare County veterans through the Veterans Advisory Council. And if anyone has any questions, we'll try to answer. Mostly Patty will try to answer. If you have some questions, we'd be happy to take a shot at answering.
Well, that's an incredible thing. How long has this been going on? Is it relatively new or been around for a few years? Or?
Oh no, it's been around the actual wall.
Well, I know the actual wall was from the 80s, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, this
traveling wall.
the traveling wall. You mean their traveling
Yeah.
wall? There's actually 5 of them, but the one that we're
wow.
getting, it's been around for several years.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's great. I just want to, people can ask questions, so I don't know what the answers are. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm sure we all have a veteran in the family. I would imagine my father was Army, his father was Air Force, et cetera, et cetera. So be sharing it and helping get the word out, I know, in our own ways, social media and otherwise. So anything we can do, let us know what we can do to help. Any questions? Thanks for reaching out to me, Terry, about the drone. I love any
Thank you
excuse
for-
to fly.
For agreeing to do that. Thank you very much.
thank you very much.
I'll call a
This was
few
pretty
other
amazing.
drone friends of mine. I think we should get it from a few different places, and we'll try to put it all together. Yeah, it'll be fun. Great thing. Thank you so much.
Thank
for your
you
time.
very
Thanks
much.
for presenting.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Should be really incredible. And open 24 hours. That's really great too.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
I
very
like that a
solid.
lot.
I would imagine.
The whole process is very solid.
I have these cards if you'd like me to leave them.
Yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Thank you, ma'am.
I've been impressed with everything I've seen with it. It's very, very impressive. And it really brings people, to their heartstrings as far as touching somebody they know or something like that. I'd like to, I've talked with the assistant town manager and, at length about funds available and so on and so forth. I'd like to give the town manager opportunity to look at what kind of funds we have available in our event funds and possibilities, and bring something back to the board that we could do, not to exceed $5,000 to make as a donation, unless you're already ready to go.
Yes, sir. Charlene had discussed your
Okay.
conversation with us, and there would be funds available in the events
Okay.
line that would not hinder any other event that had been planned.
I'd be willing to make a motion for the board to consider making that donation for $5,000. It's the Interfaith, I believe, is we would give that to, correct?
I don't know that all of that has been worked through. I know Charlene was talking with the director there.
Yeah.
But it would not work in conjunction with our partnership. This would be something
Right.
in addition.
Right, be additional, yeah.
But we can work out exactly who it would go to.
I'd be glad to make a motion, Mayor, that we do that and let staff work out the particulars on how to donate the money to the wall and support it. So, we've got a huge amount of veterans in the area. And then it's kind of a flip coin, of course, it would bring a lot of people to the area as well. So it would help a lot of businesses, in the off season. So kind of a double-edged effect.
That's a good bonus too.
Yeah. So that's the form of a motion.
All right. We have a motion on the floor
I'll second that.
and a second. Any further discussion? I would say, no objection from me. Worthy cause, and I think that they'll put the funds to good use now or later. That organization's very good stewards of the money veterans group there. Any other thoughts? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Thank you for taking care of the details.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right, any ongoing business? Or are we jumping right to new business?
No ongoing business, Mayor.
All right, our first item of new business is appointments. Nope, I'm sorry, did I get the wrong piece of paper there?
Site plan.
Oh, we got the site plan first, I'm
Good
sorry.
site plan.
I just have this piece of paper, it says new business right there. Looking down. So yeah, we will take a look at the site plan for 2000 North Croatan Highway, a car wash. Take that too.
In your packet is a proposed site plan at 2000 North Croatan Highway in the commercial zone to construct a 2,015 square foot drive-through car wash with 20 parking spaces and associated site modifications. It is a permitted use in our commercial zone, and in your packet you had the site plan. And on January 27th, the planning board reviewed the proposal and forwarded it to the board of commissioners with a favorable recommendation, and I will answer any questions that you might have about it.
Good looking building.
Very good
That
site
matters,
plan. I liked it. I thought it looked very good. I think y'all did a great job, Meredith, working with it, and I didn't have any questions.
Yeah, pretty straightforward one, I thought too. Go from
No car washes.
one to
Two
one to
difference.
three, right?
Yeah.
Or what is it? Yeah, I guess we got one other one, right? The other one's a kitty out.
It's got to be a thing because when you drive around,
8th Street.
other towns have a ton too.
Yeah, we were
It
about to
looked
be
good
very
as well.
clean around
Yeah,
here.
I guess so.
No more rusty cars for us. I've learned the hard way about the rust in cars. Going to Hatteras all the time. It'll get you.
Oh, boy, yeah.
So yeah, new sway bars this year. So yeah, I guess we don't have any questions. And as Meredith mentioned, got a favorable recommendation from the planning board on the 17th in January.
Mayor, I would move that we approve the site plan submitted for new business item number 1, 2000 North Croatan Highway in the commercial zone, proposed car wash as presented.
Excellent. We have a motion on the floor.
I'll second that, Mayor.
A second from Mr. Windley. Any further discussion about the car wash? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support on the water side.
We're very excited.
Great.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Good looking building.
Very good.
Definitely.
Thank you. We tried to get it's a little different than where we do other places. We try to get a little beachy look.
It
Little
had a little
beachy
beachy look to it. Yeah, like that.
Recommendation from over here.
Very good.
Our architect gave it a little beachy look.
There you go.
Beachy.
It
Beachy is
looks
good.
great.
We're very excited to be here. We promise to deliver a good product and good customer service.
Great.
Super.
I'm excited
you.
about it too. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So there's we get like some sort of letter or something.
We'll take care of it.
Got all the paperwork for you.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, sir.
Roll.
Thank
Do
you.
Do you have a start date for shovels in the ground?
What's that?
Did you have a time that you were gonna, when you get started on it?
As soon as y'all get.
Right away, huh? Okay, good. Some people wait a long time. Ready to go.
I would guess 90 days to get permits and stuff like that. Probably. We would love to
Soon.
begin spring, get that initial construction over the summer, not during the winter, and open it up probably the end of the year, first next year.
Good deal.
Perfect. Nice.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck with the
Everybody's
project.
gonna have a plain card
There you go.
in it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Meredith, just a quick question on this, and maybe before they leave real quick, has DOT, I mean, I know DOT will do some traffic, but Durham's that's gonna be rough. I'm
Durham.
curious.
Is this still about Carlisle?
Well, no, not necessarily,
No,
but
that's
that
okay.
area just with Target, Wawa,
very
like
busy.
Durham. Fifth Street's all right because it's got the light, but Durham, oof, looking at those site plans is very, very concerning. I think we're gonna have a issue, kind of like what where you had your accident almost, where people are turning and then trying to
Yep.
turn right to go into the car wash. Anyway, I just think
I believe previous boards have actually talked to DOT about making that a limited left turn.
I was wondering
like
about
Kitty
that.
Hawk.
Yeah, like how Kitty Hawk has this sort
I
of
don't know
median.
I don't know that that went anywhere.
Okay.
But
Maybe you could add that to your.
Maybe
That's
that's
for
something we
Alan.
could
Check on DOT.
Yeah.
Sure.
talk with our buddy about.
I just think it might be good to be proactive about, because they're all seem like they're all going to come within 4 months or so, and it's going to be go from nothing to
Definitely going to be a
everything.
hub. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of action. We'll talk with that.
Just thought I'd throw it out there now so we can
Good point.
start thinking about it.
Won't all open at the same time, at least, but. it'll
But
be
within
here.
a very
Oh,
short
it's gonna
amount of
change.
time.
Everything's
Yeah.
gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
For many years, I lived on a street with no light, and that there's a certain point where you just go, I've got to find a light.
Yeah.
to get to a light. It's just a safer way to get in and out. All right. So that was item number 1. Item 2 is appointments.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I saw that piece of paper. The 2 is right at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Threw me off there. Looked at the wrong paper. There have been some discussions about applicants. Anybody want to jump in?
Sure, Mayor, I'll jump in on that. I did get the email about Mr. Fletcher's application for the Historic Landmarks Commission. I was impressed with the application, and I feel like he would be an excellent addition to that board. And I'm willing to make a motion to appoint Mr. Fletcher to the Historic Landmarks Commission.
Second.
Yeah.
All right. Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I know him personally.
You do?
He actually he used to work in my law firm. Yeah, he is an incredible real estate attorney, also historian. So and,
Perfect.
and a really well-liked lawyer. He's retired as a lawyer, but he's
Sounds like a good match.
he's a really good guy. And he's excited about it. So, yeah.
Good.
All
Good.
right, super. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Congratulations, Mr. Fletcher. Thank you for serving. You're watching from TV land
I
up there.
think he might be.
Might be.
For the
I know a lot of people watch this live. I'm like, really? All right. Exciting Monday night.
Hi, Colleen. Yeah.
Super Bowl. Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
That's
Super Bowl
right.
esque.
Not the Super Bowl, but we try. We follow up. The next one is Community Appearance Commission. And
Mayor, I'll jump in on that one
Yeah.
too.
You're just all tech today.
Are you the halftime show?
You're not cooperating with me today. Things are singing at me.
What is happening?
Cameron needs to not go on vacation because I clearly can't.
I need my camera.
He's actually at training today. Last one he was on vacation. This one he's in training. So I can't.
We only have one application on file at the moment for the CAC, and that candidate at the time when Ms. Hester, when she originally put her application in, there was a bit of a conflict schedule with her work schedule and the meeting schedule that has yet to be resolved. The CAC meets quarterly now, so the urgency for our meetings is not quite as hectic as it was in the past. I'd like to maybe give it a couple of months. Because our next meeting will coincide real closely with Trash Attack, and if we see that's really the signature event that the CAC is affiliated with, I'd like to maybe table it for now, see if we get some more applications. We're going into the spring, and then maybe
See if the schedule
fit
works
comes
out.
along, and we can figure something out.
All right. I think if that's got consensus. We'll go
A
with that.
second motion to table it.
Okay, gotcha. Do I need a motion for that? Just
Correct.
Just by consensus is easier. That's what I thought. Figured.
That they would if they voted, yeah.
Right. No vote. No need for a motion. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. We can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, committee reports. I look left, I look right. I know that, see, we mentioned Trash Attack's coming up. Always good to plug the date.
What is the date for Trash Attack?
April 1st.
April 1st.
April 1st.
No, we had our planning meeting last week for Trash Attack. Sandy Markham does a phenomenal job. It's almost in cruise control under her leadership.
Nice.
Everything's lining up as normal, and we should have a very successful event. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be great.
I ran into some people at a Super Bowl party who were asking how to volunteer. I said I would get them the information. I want to jump out there and help. I'm looking forward to it too, and looking forward to. Always excited about posters made by kids too.
Yes.
That was always good fun.
That's cool.
And in the consent agenda, there's a item for the government education access channel for the budget approval. Each unit has to, participating unit has to approve that. So that's included in the consent agenda. Thank you, Michael.
All right, good to know. Good to know. Any other committee meetings that I hadn't heard about?
No.
All right. Moving on, commissioner's agenda.
I just want to extend a brief thank you to staff. I was sent a resident concerning email about a high-profile, very visible derelict vehicle that is no longer in that space. I'm not going to share more details, not to embarrass anybody, but staff's happy, and I'm sure other people are that was addressed and done the right way. It really was everyone's benefit that get taken care of. So thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Super. Ivy, anything?
I just want to bring something up real quick after looking at the plans, which really didn't have anything to do with the car wash, but I did notice again the 6-foot wood fence. And just going back to Wawa, I know we had talked about potentially changing that to making, which it might not even apply to this because I realize it's not going to be the, sort of late night business that Wawa is. But is that something that the planning board could maybe take a look at changing?
Actually, I think
Or are they
that
already,
we're reviewing.
or is it already
Staff
in
is
process?
reviewing that.
We're in the middle of updating the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
And if that's something that the board would like to see, that would be, we're not doing a lot of regulatory changes with this update,
Okay.
but we're doing a few.
Okay.
And
That's when we need to look at options on.
I know I would like to,
Yeah, me too.
as
I
future
believe that was the
development comes along, I
consensus
think it would
At that meeting, yeah.
definitely
Mhm.
prevent
the
some
options
issues in
are.
the future. Then I think it's worth taking a look
And you're
at.
talking about bigger fences for like
And no-
incompatible uses or
Yes,
24
or
hour.
noise,
Anywhere where residential commercial meets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly anything that's 24 hours.
Right.
That's the bad. That's
Yeah.
the worst part.
Something just more than 6 feet wood fence.
And flexibility is good too, because I think that some businesses, you wouldn't
Right.
want a barrier. if it
Right,
was like,
right.
I don't know what that would be, but.
Right.
And
right.
this isn't commercial. I mean, this isn't residential. It's commercial.
Right,
So we have a
commercial.
little bit more say. So just throwing out there, I do remember with Wawa, I think it was Wawa that the vinyl nature of the fence, for
Right.
example, was an issue for you guys. So if you guys wanted us to dive into the building material type, we could do that is all I'm saying.
Move more towards like
Something
Lowe's
like
got
wood
behind it,
or something more
Concrete,
sturdy.
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
like stucco and
Concrete.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the
For
neighbors
sound
had
as
mentioned
well.
height. I don't know if that
Right.
weighs into it or not.
Right.
I think that
But maybe taking a look at what Lowe's did, even as an example, because that
Mm-hmm.
seemed to have made
Set a
everyone
good
happy.
precedent.
So, right.
It looks nice.
Yes, it
At
does.
least look at what those
Yes.
options are. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
super.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
Nothing.
Nothing for you?
Nothing. I did want to make one comment. Thank Meredith for we had a business in town that was not looking very good. And I got some pictures that were sent to me this afternoon. You've done a great job with that Burger King spot. Cleaned it up very nicely. Thank you so much.
Jordan Bly is your man.
Right.
He's on Christmas cards with the cookout people at this point. He calls them so much.
Good
Oh,
deal.
gotcha.
That makes it look a lot better.
Speaking of looking a lot better, it's Target. I hadn't been by there in a while. They finally got that some interesting looking wall there.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow,
looks
that's
good.
I did not see that coming. That's pretty cool. I didn't get that from the drawings. But yeah, it's looking good over there. And the red. So they realized. And the parking lot's gonna be beautiful.
And yeah, I did tell him, Dana, he needs to do the PR up there at
First in the state, right? Yeah, that might be a bad idea. But you got me thinking about something about sort of community appearance and that sort of thing. On my notes here were, I had a constituent, you might remember when everybody got talking about Sugar Kingdom and all that sort of thing. And everyone's kind of opinions about aesthetics that we can't really get into. And certainly Killable Hills has a long history of trying to mitigate things that, whatever people don't like or whatever. But I know that we have rules on the books that forgive me for not having them all memorized about, you can't have a string of lights and then have a bunch of lights out, right? But it's got to stay in, be properly maintained. And I didn't know if those rules extended to signs and things like that. We have rules about signs with lights out and that sort of thing? Because that seemed to be something that is regulatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
Right.
both.
So just a
And
thought.
there is an active violation at that site that has been active for quite some time, that they are accruing fines, and we're in very constant contact with them about when they're going to remedy that violation.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. These are the things people ask about.
No, they're paying the fines. No, they're not paying the fines either. They're just accruing.
We can't get them to pay the fines until they've complied. But they've been at $500 a day for quite some time.
Oof.
It adds up. What's that, Jinx? Yeah.
And that
We
goes
don't
to the
get
Board of
it.
Education.
Yeah, I was going to say,
We don't
it's
get them.
not a windfall to the town.
Right,
It
right.
Yeah.
All of our,
It
all
goes
of
to
our
the school
fines go
board.
to the Board of Education.
Oh, Board of Education. Yeah, well,
Board of
same
Education.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Fines and forfeitures.
Well, new baseball.
We get it in a
field.
way, I guess.
They could do it. The second thing I was going to mention in the mayor's comments was I took the time over the weekend to do a little tour of all our beach accesses and was pleased to see that some work has been getting done. So I wanted to give kudos to whoever's been out there with a shovel and working on things. It's plenty of room to go, but nice to see some, parking bumpers getting dug out and plants getting trimmed. And I appreciate that because that's kind of that's what people come here for. And, we can always look better out there. So I appreciate that. And that's all I've got, I think. So let's see. Next item is town manager's agenda.
Yes, sir. We discussed briefly when the board was setting your calendar for this year for your commissioners' meetings, that some of our meetings that are so close together, we may be in a position to recommend or suggest that you consider canceling them. And that's the case with our February the 22nd meeting. If there's no objections from the board, then I would request a motion from the board to not have that meeting that night.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That was
Thank
easy.
That was easy.
Thank you all.
So easy.
Thank you all. You just got me off the hook because I was going to be at the CRAC meeting that day. And
It does good.
Georgia Hedgeback.
thank you.
It's only next week, right?
That was it was one week away, right? 9 days. Alrighty, so the next item is the town, where'd it go? Town attorney's agenda. Sorry.
I've got nothing. Mayor,
All right.
Commissioners, thank you.
We always like it when that's the case.
Mm,
And then the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. 3 items on the consent agenda. The minutes from the 25th of January, 2023, the December 2022 monthly report, and a budget amendment to appropriate North Carolina League of Municipality Wellness Grant Funds. And a motion would be in order. I'm sorry, excuse me. There's only 3 items on the first page. I could feel Michael's eyes.
Head whipped around.
Number 4 is proclamations and resolutions. The first is a resolution, a reimbursement resolution for fiscal year 22-23, declaring the intentions to reimburse the cost of certain expenditures. This is basically saying that the money we borrow, we're going to pay back. Item B, is a corrective resolution relating to Killable Hills Town Code of Ordinances, Chapter 31, Boards and Commissions. This is just some language that needed to be added to the code, and approval of the consent agenda will approve the corrective resolution relating to this ordinance. Number 5, as Commissioner Gray alluded to, is the Government Education Access Channel Committee's 23-24 proposed budget, which is approved by all of the participating parties. And approval of the consent agenda, again, will record the board's approval for this budget. And lastly, the adoption of the updated North Carolina Division of Archives and Record Retention Schedules. A number of years ago, the Board of Commissioners at that time adopted the record retention schedule for purposes of maintaining the town's records. The proposed records retention and disposition schedule were previously provided to the board electronically, and a link has been placed on the town's meeting page, the website for public inspection. And approval of the consent agenda will record the board's approval of the general and program record schedule. Staff recommends approval of the consent agenda as presented, and a motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the consent agenda or any items therein? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We have passed yet another
Thank you.
consent agenda. Thank you so much. That leads us to our second public comment. And we're all the public, aren't we? We're all public. Don't see any civilian public though. Are we civilians? No, we're civilians. Going once, going twice, I will close public comment, and I guess we don't need any response to public comment, so we're at our most important juncture.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any further discussion on that controversial proposal? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
You're adjourned.
Thank you.
See you later.
Good night.
If I can get Michael.